Confidence by any means. And he's gone for it, and he's holed out. Jeff Miller taking the catch at mid-wicket. O'Shaughnessy been kept quiet for fairly lengthy periods. Could stand it no longer. Swung the bat, not a very gracious shot, and no problem for Miller at mid-wicket.
Yes, I think you're right, Jim. It was a case of frustration. It was fairly well up to him, and he tried to hit it over the top, got his head up a bit, didn't really time it, and just lobbed it very comfortably to Jeff Miller at mid-wicket.
So, a simple catch, in fact, for Jeff Miller there. So, O'Shaughnessy departs in the 10th over with just 12 on the board.
Registration number XRE177X. Would a member of the club, Mr. German, come along to the office, please?
Underneath the red helmet. New design in headwear there, I think. Frank Hayes. And that very nasty accident at Lord's last year. He broke a bone in his ankle. It's taken him an awful long time to get fit. He was limping through most of the winter. And be interesting to see if he's fully recovered now. Quick change. Newman, after those two long hops in the last over, pulled out of the attack. 5 overs for 8 runs, been replaced by Barry Wood. And Barry Wood, always anxious to prove a point. He plays against Lancashire. Starting off immediately without any close catches. A ring of 6, 3 on the leg, 3 on the off to save the single. And 3 men push back on the fence. A highly effective bowler, just about medium pace in this type of cricket particularly. He always looks to be of a nice gentle pace, Barry Wood, but invariably there's a little bit of movement, either in the air or off the pitch. He's never quite as easy as he often looks from the ring. Again, that drifted into the left-hander. A long delay once again here today. Play not getting underway until a 2:45. Derbyshire winning the toss, putting Lancashire into bat. Wood to Fowler. Well, he's middled up pretty well. Just about one bounce over the ropes. Grahame Fowler too, not tempted not to get bogged down to such a degree.
And a fine straight drive this, high over the bowler's head. Lovely straight follow through. And first bounce over the bowler's head.
It's a great finish of that shot, as you can see on that replay. But Barry Wood not going to offer another one as far up as that. So that single boundary from Wood's over. Takes Lancashire on to 16. Shaughnessy the man to go in that over of Oldham. Fairly simple catch to Miller at mid-wicket. He went for 5. But, fair amount of depth, of course, these days in this Lancashire batting. Off 11. Lancashire, of course, really got away in one-day cricket. Great success. They knew how to pace it, they knew how to stage it. And Clive Lloyd has made his presence felt to such an extent. David Hughes has really come into his own as a batsman in the last couple of seasons and up the order in at number 4. So double change, and Miller comes on. Don't know what Steve Oldham will think about that. Wicket with his last ball and change of bowling. Oh, one can't help feeling sorry in many respects for Frank Hayes. Burst into the first-class game, into the England side. Made a glorious 100, I seem to recall, at the Oval against a bowler of this type, Lance Gibbs. And then things really started to go wrong for Frank. Lost his confidence, lost his touch. And one thought he was really going to make a first-class England cricketer. Miller immediately dropping on to admirable length there. Good length and line bowler. Showing the value of the slow bowler, even in this limited over cricket, as long as he doesn't bowl too many outside the leg stump and gets swept away for 4. First wayward delivery, of course, and Frank Hayes made the most of it. Good shot, nicely timed, 4 good runs.
And this beautifully swept away, pitching just about leg stump and going down, and lovely roll of the wrist over the top.
So the 12 overs gone in this Lancashire innings. 20 on the board now, with Frank Hayes off the mark nicely for 4. A few words from Tom Graveney, then Richie Benno back here to take over.
Yes, he was looking to make a bit of room here. Kept a little bit low. He got a bit too wide and his bat was very much across. But obviously he had to try and push it on at this stage, and he just kept a bit low and got underneath the bat. But they gave him a pretty good start, did Moxon and Boycott. They both played particularly well, very straight, sound start from is what you want when you go into bat first.
So there it was. That was 1 down for 65 in the 23rd over. I think I said we were in the tea interval here. I should have said we're in between innings. We'll have another 25 overs before we get a cup of cha. And then we saw the best of Martin Moxon, who batted very impressively.
Yeah, very impressively, and he can't have done himself any harm. Alec Betts, one of the selectors, is here. Seen him bat. He plays very straight, very sideways on, stands up. I think he'll play the quick as well, and I'll be disappointed if he doesn't get a go for England this year.
So will I. Right, now, Yorkshire looked to be in the box seat at lunch. They made 137 for 1, and then suddenly the game swung the other way afterwards, the next 10 overs or
That's
so.
right, 8 to 10 overs after lunch. Sussex, in fact, bowled well, fielded very well, put a bit of pressure on, got 2 or 3 wickets, and Yorkshire really got bogged down at that stage and looked like finishing with 230. But then they came back at the death and got a good score at the finish.
What impresses me about Martin Moxon is his old-fashioned technique. He plays it as a sideways game. He plays straight.
Well, after watching the test matches this last few days, the one-day matches, it's nice to see people playing sideways on again, because it is a sideways game at the end of the day.
Well, that's right in bowling too, isn't it?
Yes, if you do things sideways, it's much more simpler.
Thought Boycott looked good this morning, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought the openers both looked in very good form. It was nice to see them batting so well.
Right, let's have a look at the end of Martin Moxon then. The score was 142. He'd made 79. OBW to Garth LaRue.
Yeah, he was probably a little bit unlucky. It nipped back quite a bit. In fact, could possibly have scraped past leg stump, but the umpire gave the bowler the benefit of the doubt here. But it does come back quite a long way. And you can see there, nipping back into him, turning him round a little bit as it went down, and he eventually tried to play it to square leg. But he played exceptionally well at Martin. 79 he made before lunch, and that was a very fine innings indeed.
2 down for 142 in the 38th over. And a good moment, Ray, to ask why on earth Grahame Stevenson didn't get a go with the bat.
Well, it's very difficult because in any one-day game, and the form is in at the moment, you can't really see him not coming to the wicket. And I feel possibly he should have come in when the captain came in.
Right, well, we didn't see Stevenson, but we saw 2 more wickets go quite rapidly. This was the first of them. Bairstow, the captain, facing Colin Wells.
Well, as I say, David had to do this at this stage. Hit it very well indeed, and in fact, it was Greg, I believe, running round on the boundary, brought off a very fine catch. But this is what I'm saying, it was an ideal time for Stevenson to come in here, somebody just to throw the bat and maybe get 20 or 30 quickly. Again, he goes through it. Goes through it very well, hits it very well. If he'd got a bit less height, it would probably have gone for 6.
So David Bairstow perished in the cause for 4. And the score at that point, 149 for 3 in the 41st over. Meantime, the left-hander Kevin Sharp had made a very useful 32.
Yeah, Kevin came in and he started making runs straight away, and he looked in good nick and just got his nice 1s and 2s like Kevin does. He's a little bit unorthodox, is Kevin, and it's not so easy to set fields for him.
Right, here's the end of Kevin Sharp.
Well, again, this was a marvellous piece of fielding. I think Kevin himself should have shouted away because really the fieldsman at the far end was only about 4 or 5 yards from the wicket, and it should have been weight because if it had gone through, it was an easy one then. You can see it again here, Kevin, it's towards mid-off. Marvellous piece of fielding, this. You can just see him diving across to stop it left-handed. Went into his hand reasonably cleanly, and again, Kevin was left absolutely high and dry there.
In the end, Ian Gould did pretty well with 1 stump to aim
He
at,
did very
even
well,
from
yeah.
such short range.
Because I think he had to throw it. I don't think he had time to get back to the wicket.
152 for 4. Then we had Jim Love and Hartley, both of whom played innings quite admirable in the one-day context.
Yes, Jim and Neil Hartley both got it going very well, in fact, here. They ran well between the wickets. They're different sorts of players. Neil chips it away on the leg side, Jim hits it on the off-side, so they complement each other very well indeed.
And what a whack they had at the end with...
Well, tremendous. They ran beautiful between the wickets at side bottom and Hartley, and of course they didn't miss any opportunity, which is 6 or 2, which they did on this small leg side boundary.
That's right. I think I mentioned that they scored 105 off the last 10 overs. Batsmen are on their way, and we'll show you what the final Yorkshire score was. They got 58 off the last 5, and it was 260 for 5 off the allotment of 55 overs. Hartley made his splendid 50 off 36 balls, hitting 2 6s and 5 4s, and there is the bowling. Right, off we go again then. Sussex need 261 to reach the last 4, and the Benson and Hedges down below, Jim Laker.
And just in time, out there, 261 wanted. Four and 3/4 runs and over wanted by Sussex to progress to the semi-final. So the Sussex innings gets underway. Might be a wide. First runs on the board for Sussex, signalled as a wide. Side bottom sliding that one down the leg side. Still lovely weather down here at Hove. Beautiful warm day, lots of blue sky overhead. There's a bit of moisture in the wicket this morning, but that must by now have dried out completely. Mendes is off the mark, nudged away down to a long leg. Sussex captain John Barclay is waiting for the gentleman to move across the screen, ready for his first ball. Two getting off in similar style, turned away from roundabout leg middle stump. First over then completed by side bottom two from the bat, plus the no ball. Early opportunity here for Stuart Fletcher, one of the up-and-coming Yorkshire cricketers, only 19 years of age. Moxon playing particularly well for his 79, useful 32 from sharp. Boycott 2 played well, one must add for his 31. And Jim Love hit a very big 6 amongst his 32. But the score was really made by Hartley there at the end. Played powerful innings, 55 in partnership with side bottom at the end. They actually took 108 off the last 10 overs. 260 for 5 off 55 overs.
There'll be further coverage of the cricket at Hove between Sussex and Yorkshire.
112 for 4 here at Hove's. We're in the final over here before the tea break comes, and these matches now after 35 overs. 112 for 4, and Sussex in a little bit of trouble. Wells facing now particularly well. This is the younger Wells, Alan Wells. He's on to 31, and Ian Gregg, his partner, has made 13. So that's the task facing them at this particular moment. Another 149 wanted. Shade over 20 overs, and they've got to score at now something over 7 runs and over. This is Martin Moxon coming in to bowl this final over. So this fine promising batsman has bounced back with the ball here. He's taken one pretty vital wicket, 1 for 21 at the start of this over from 5 overs. And a vital wicket indeed, because he got rid of Mendes, who was the Sussex top scorer to date. He went for 41. Simple catch to mid-off. So this is Ian Gregg, who stroked it around quite nicely since he appeared. Plays the final ball before tea. safely and competently to see his side through at tee then to 113 for 4. Greg on 13. And Alan Wells possibly not had the same amount of publicity as elder brother Colin, but he's played well here today for 32. Brother Colin, in fact, out today without scoring. So the game has ebbed and flowed to a certain degree here today, with the Yorkshire put into bat this morning by Sussex getting away to a good start through Boycott and Moxon. Moxon in particular there, I thought, played a fine innings. 32 from Sharp, useful runs, 32 from Love, and the acceleration at the end after those, a little bit of a mini collapse in the middle coming from Hartley and Sidebottom. They managed to push it up to a very good score indeed, 260 for 5 from their 55 overs.
Hello, good afternoon from sunny Hove. We've been so lucky yet again with the weather and the state of play at the tea interval after 35 overs of the second innings in this quarter-final. Sussex, needing 261 to win, have got a lot to do. They're 113 for 4 after 35 overs. They need another 148, 20 overs to bowl, and they'll have to get them at 7.33, which is going some. Just a quick recap then. The Yorkshire card, they were put into bat by John Barclay. They batted very well. I was most impressed. They had a good start. Jeff Boycott and Martin Moxon put on 65 for the first wicket in 23 overs. Martin Moxon, with his correct method, old-fashioned method, you might say, impressed everybody with that 79. Yorkshire got in a spot of bother for 10 overs or so after lunch. 3 wickets went. Moxon, Bairstow and Sharp, who also batted well. And then Love, Hartley and Sidebottom finished with a tremendous flourish, and a heck of a lot of runs came in the last 10 overs. So it's a formidable score. There was the bowling. And I have Ray Illingworth with me. Your comment, Ray?
Well, obviously Yorkshire in a very strong position. You'd rather be in their position than Sussex, but strange things have happened in this one-day game. But, you know, if you have 150 runs almost and 20 overs, well, they should win the game from there.
The Sussex reply, losing Barclay for 14, and then Stevenson was on a hat-trick. He had Parker caught behind off a very thin inside edge, and Colin Wells picked up first ball LBW. Mendes made 41, batted well, the Sussex opener, and then we had a partnership between Wells, the other Wells, Alan Wells and Ian Gregg. So just to say again, 148 in 20 overs, and they'll need to get them at 7.33. See, we've got a bit of competition here, but I mean, never mind, Ray, I said we should be able to survive. Right, let's just have a look at the state of play. There it is. And Yorkshire look to be comfortably placed at the moment. Somebody has got to play a pretty quick and impressive innings.
I think if Sussex win now, whoever gets the runs will win man of the match.
Right. Well, now, if you were watching on BBC One a minute or two ago, you would have seen us run through the Yorkshire wickets up to the fall of Bairstow, the captain. So we'll take it up where we left off on the other channel. And this was the end of Kevin Sharp.
Yes, Kevin hit this towards mid-off, was off very quickly. Really, it should have been a weight call. And Jim Lovren was quite right in saying no. And in fact, the keeper did very well as well, though, because he had to throw the ball. I don't think he got time to get up to the wicket. But you see it again now, Kevin off very quickly, and the ball never went past that almost silly mid-off, really. And I suppose if they'd both gone very quickly, they may well have got him because the throw wasn't good. But I think Jim was
good.
quite...
It was a good little roll in by Ian Gould, wasn't it? One stump away.
Yes, he did very well. He'd only 1 and a bit stumps away at any of the wickets. Did it very well.
So 150 for 4. That was the third and last hiccup that Yorkshire suffered after lunch. Love then took up the running, splendidly supported by Hartley and by Sidebottom, and all of them gave it a fair old whack, didn't they?
Yeah, they fitted very well because Jim Lovett's on the offside, Neil Hartley clipped it away on the leg side, and they really fit in well with each other, and they had a very good partnership which set it up for the last few overs.